Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers! Tiki here!
And Blue Dragon 5.
And my oh my, after all this D23 talk, I'm so wiped out from the movie news. Oh wait, Hollywood's a call-in, and they just released the final trailer for what perhaps might be my second most anticipated movie of the year, behind Cats, of course. No shame. That's right. It's Joker, the final trailer reveal. Of course, Dragon, this is the Todd Phillips project. It's kind of like a fever dream that this thing is actually happening because I remember for a long time thinking like this is too good to be true. This is never going to happen. It's like Joaquin Phoenix in a Robert De Niro, like in a Martin Scorsese style like gangster film that really takes heavy influence from stuff like The King of Comedy. No way, this is too good of a premise that Hollywood actually make. It's too original, darn it, Dragon. It's too original of a take. But alas, we got it in Dragon. I am sold on this movie, man. I don't care what anyone else thinks. This is you know what? All kidding aside, because I can't wait for Cats. I can definitively say that I think I'm a little bit more excited for Cats than I am for Star Wars Episode 9, just out of pure curiosity factor. But Dragon, definitively, this is probably my most anticipated of the year. I mean, this is especially with the director, it has the potential to be not as great as I'm hyping it up to be in my head. But Jesus Christ, good marketing campaign is good marketing campaign, Dragon. That's all I gotta say. This film had two trailers, and that's absolutely all it needed. The second trailer gave us a lot of juicy stuff to dig into, but I still feel like we have most of the movie left to uncover. I still feel like there's an air of mystique around this film that we get to unpack until we actually see the thing. So I can't wait, Dragon. This has definitely got my attention for sure.
All right. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm still definitely sold on this. It's of course, I love basically this trailer. We had a lot of scale to kind of our one-off Elseworld story here, and again, I love that we're just adding kind of a. It seems like we're adding kind of a majesty to it. Like, yeah, folks, it's going to be a glorious one and done if we do it right. We get a little bit of a look at the plot in this trailer, and we definitely confirmed if there was any lingering doubt, this is like kind of a DC's take on the King of Comedy. Make no mistake, and I love
Something
it.
that may or may not be on the catch-up list on my movie memoirs this
Well,
month, Dragon.
I would hope
May or may
so.
not be.
At the very least, before this movie comes out, you should definitely watch it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if I have time, but it's definitely on my to-watch list before Sunday.
Anywho, so yeah, but yeah, I'm again, this movie seems like it's going to be really good. I'm just the only fear I have with this movie is how it's going to be kind of taken by the public. Because again, I don't think I wonder if the whole Elseworld's kind of like kind of a one shot things that go over a lot of people's heads. And I mean, we'll see what happens. But that's again, it's not like a legit fear for the movie; it's the fear for the consumption of the movie, if you will.
Well, I do have a legit fear for the movie, but I hear what you're saying about the public's taste in the movie because I can already see some people, without getting into it, some people are kind of taken aback by some of the political undertones of this film. And look, in the year 2019, I can understand why, but I feel like this film is trying to tackle some heavy subject matter, and that's all the more reason for me to personally be excited about it. So,
I mean, for me, it's more so just a case of it's going to be if this movie's really good, it's going to be kind of a no-win situation with what might make it special. Where the movie comes out and you have Joaquin Phoenix. Let's just assume Joaquin Phoenix is a really great performance of the Joker, as all trailers would indicate. Let's assume that happens, and people are going to say, "I want to see him do it again. Like we're getting a sequel to this, or we're going to put him in the other movies." Like again, it's like or yeah, I
you know
think
what it kind of reminds me of, Dragon? It kind of reminds me of like the whole situation with Iron Man 3 where people are like, the funny thing is, I was just thinking about this the other day before the trailer dropped. The whole thing about how, oh, it's a great Shane Black movie, but a terrible MCU movie. And I'm like, but you just said it was a great Shane Black movie. I mean, shouldn't you just be happy that you got a great movie?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's what I hear. What you're saying about the other regard of the public consumption, which I have been
Yeah.
hearing about a lot, of course, in the trailers coming out and everything. But again, that for me, that's my personal concerns. I think we're just going to try to take because I don't know, I forget how official this is. I heard like maybe some rumors like Todd Phillips, like, yeah, I'd like to do another one. Maybe not specifying if he's going to do another one of this because again, the initial theory is that we're just going to do one and done. It's going to be something special. I don't want to corrupt what might make this movie special. Bear in mind. I have to see how this movie is before I can say, how dare you make another one, you know?
Right.
But I mean, look, if this movie looks however this movie turns out, I'm going to give it points here. That is an amazing marketing campaign. The marketing's been so on point for this movie. The movie that everybody's been doubting, and like, oh God, we've been burned by the Jared Leto Joker, and they're doing all these, the age-old joke from Fat Man
The
Beyond.
Jared Leto Joker still isn't out of my. The taste hasn't washed out of my mouth, Dragon. I'm not. This is by all accounts going to be better than the Jared Leto Joker. Make no mistake. I mean, even if it's a mediocre as hell movie, I have no doubt that the performance is going to be a ton better. But I don't know. I am worried that my expectations are too high. You know, I do this to myself, Dragon. You know, I have a bad track record for this shit.
That you do. What I mean is, on Fat Man Beyond, there was the old joke for a while before the trailers came out for this, like, oh, when back in the whole development of all, like, oh, that's the 9 Joker movies they have in the works. Again, they're talking about like all these Joker appearances and all these movies and everything when DC's just trying to figure out what their next step is right now. They're kind of playing it loosey-goosey to see what sticks, which isn't a bad way to go. Just can see what works.
I am so sad that Shazam underperformed.
Really? Did it underperform?
It did. It did pretty bad.
Oh man, that's a shame. Yeah, because that was really.
Yeah.
Good. I know they want to do a sequel, and they have to do a sequel fast before the kid grows up.
Yeah. Right.
Anywho, okay. Regardless, point being, let's just dive right into it. There's a lot of really good stuff to kind of chew on with this movie. So let's do it.
Let's send in the clowns, if you will.
Send in the clowns.
All right. We start with a very Nolan-esque shot here.
We're very kind of a very year one looking Gotham, kind of like that really crime-ridden 80s looking Gotham.
I've seen some people kind of call this a perverse yellow brick road, if you will.
Sure.
Let me turn my volume down on this.
Good idea. Oh yeah, so we have the bus scene that starts us off here. So we have Arthur Fleck again, kind of our Joker alter ego in this case. Again, we're kind of playing with, again, if a movie's based around the origin of the Joker, it's not the end of the world if we, kind of don't stick to what everyone usually likes about the whole nameless kind of clown origin. But
why, Dragon? Do you know why we don't do that?
Why don't we do that?
Because he's an idea.
Exactly. You joke, but this movie is kind of getting to the heart of the whole he's an idea.
No, I know.
So here we have just again a little bit of something so foreign a concept. Assuming this is the case here, that he gets like a Joker with humanity before he becomes who he is. Where you just have kind of this Arthur having a real connection with kids so far as we've seen in these trailers.
Mm.
He's going to entertain the kid on the bus here, and this to me says something
Look at
really.
The shot of the mom right here. I love the shot of the mom in the background where she's already rolling her eyes at this whole situation.
This moment with the mother really speaks volumes to me because it's a statement on Gotham, and what this take on Gotham is in reflection to kind of our story here, where he's just playing a little moment of playful joy in such a depressing city, a depressing crime-ridden city, and her response to this is, "Hey, would you please stop bothering my kid?"
Yeah, and you can clearly see that the kid is actually smiling at the whole situation.
Absolutely.
Dragon, I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of lag going on. Let me refresh and see if it does anything.
Well, while we're talking about the Joker, another show you folks should be checking out is Harley Quinn the Joker versus the Real World.
Ooh, I don't know, Dragon. I might have to turn it over to you for the screen share if you don't mind.
All right, well, yeah. Okay, you tell them all about the wonders about Harley Quinn the Joker.
All right, folks. Yeah, that's right, folks. If you like different alternative takes on the Joker, that's all fine and good. But if you like a take on the Joker that's very classic, like it's not even Mark Hamill Joker, it's just classic comic book Joker. But if you want that classic comic book Joker and a good classic Harley Quinn to go along with it, in an interesting and unique setting, look no further than Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the real world. Now, folks, here's what you're going to do. You're going to watch episode 1. You're going to think, oh, that's a nice premise. That's that's an interesting hook. Who's this nice, pleasant roommate character played by Piper Henson? And then you're going to get to the end of episode 1. You're going to be hooked, folks. Trust me. You're going to watch all the way up to episode 5. You're going to be like, wait a minute. Where's episode 6? Why don't I get episode 6? I'll tell you, folks. Episode 6 already shot. It's already in the can. But in order to get episode 6, we need to get episode 5 up to 1 billion views. So that's what you got to do. You got to spread it around. You got to rewatch it. You got to do all that stuff. We need episode 6. Episode 7 is already in production. They're already doing production photos and script leaks on that thing. Episode 7 might even be in the Joshua Thomas Prince Vault as we speak, Dragon. So why don't we just group together and get it to 1 million views already? Let's do it.
All right, what's my visual friend?
Okay. Do you have your okay.
I think so. You got to tell me what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I got it.
We're on the bus, right?
We are.
Okay, good. Okay, we're on the bus. All right. Yeah, let's see. So, sorry, I'm breaking it down a little here. It's got a little. Oh, yeah. So we have the bit with the mother here coming up, right? Oh, sorry. Let me. Silly me. It's full screen. All right. Here we go. Okay, we're still seeing visual, right?
Yes.
Very good. So we have the mother here saying, "Would you please stop bothering my kid?" And again, what that communicates to me so well is again kind of this mentality of Gotham here, where it's like you get like there's a moment of like pure of actual joy in the world. Like it's not a cynical moment where it's not like, oh man, he's being creepy or anything. It's like, he's just being genuinely playful with the kid, and it's just that like, oh, it's just kind of we're zapping all the negativity out in Gotham. You see, Gotham is a place through the Joker's purview that needs laughter, which is a very interesting way of approaching it.
Sure.
Let's see. So then Arthur is going to Arkham here for a little bit of therapy.
I have a theory on what this is, and I've actually been through it before in therapy, and it is kind of a very depressing time, Dragon. And my theory on this is that his doctor has basically gotten to a point where they've done everything they can for him, and he's basically left on his own. And he even says so in the trailer where he's like, look, we've been going over the same things, you ask me the same questions. And therapy can get in a rut like that, Dragon, and it's nothing personal. Sometimes you just need to have the right match, and sometimes therapists just aren't the right match for you. But man, I tell you, I've been on the receiving end of this, and it's not fun, and that's personally what I think he's going through right here.
All right, I'm going to backtrack because there's something really I've been aching to talk about with Joaquin Phoenix's thing with the Joker that we kind of had, kind of reminded of here in the trailer. So look at this shot here where he's kind of walking down the hallway and laughing.
Uh-huh.
So I read in an interview, I read somewhere that Joaquin Phoenix reportedly he studied the actual phenomena. He studied this actual condition that afflicts people. One of the shorthands for it is PLC, pathological laughing condition, or
oh dear.
So, and you can look videos of this up, which I did. There is a condition where basically you will laugh or cry, but mainly laugh uncontrollably, and it'll be a thing where you just kind of almost like Tourette's, like laughing Tourette's practically. And that might be he basically, I don't know how official he's going to really take that for his performance, but at the very least, that's what his laugh's been inspired by, kind of the sporadic laughter, which implies during that train scene that we saw in the other trailer, maybe again he can't control that laughter when he's like in an emotionally agitated state. The laughter just might happen,
Oh man, that's super creepy.
But again, that's really great research, isn't it?
It is.
It gets me really. This is the kind of stuff that makes you really excited to see what he's going to do with it, man. This is the stuff we had promised with Lowe. They're actually going to see maybe fulfilled with this guy. So yeah, and basically what he's saying here to his therapist on the flip side of things, as we're going to see in the visuals here as well, like when he's again some of the stuff we've seen before, like the sign. Oh,
And the stuff he's saying is stuff that I can also relate to, where he's basically saying like, every day you just kind of come in and say the same things, like, how was your week? How was work? And God, Dragon hit him with probably the most poignant line of the trailer.
so it's like, how's your job? Do you have any negative thoughts? And then, of course, it gets to, all I have are negative thoughts.
Dragon, that's oh man, that's mental illness in a nutshell, right there, Dragon.
Yeah. Let's see. So then I believe here, the scene that's going to plan out right now. I believe this is going to be our big low point for the movie, because as you can see, his mother is in the hospital. She's not doing so well. We know it's kind of like one of the main reasons. Presumably, just kind of fill in the blanks here. Presumably, he is a clown to make ends meet to pay the bills. Probably his mother's medical bills, be my guess. And basically, this is probably kind of the low point of the evening. We saw him at a comedy club, and they probably was videotaped. And basically, again, like every comedian's dream, of course, famously, like your Jerry Seinfelds of the whole bunch, was to get on the Johnny Carson show. So in this universe, the proverbial Johnny Carson show is this Murray Franklin hour, let's call it the Murray Franklin hour. But no, this Murray Franklin show, which basically is the Robert De Niro character, which is a takeoff of Rupert Pumpkin and the from King of Comedy.
Mhm.
He's in the Jerry Lewis role. It's kind of a fun swap on that whole thing. I just think that's so genius, by the way. We'll get there. So look at this. Look at the hope on his face here, where it's like legit. Like he was chosen, and he's thinking like, oh my God, like he's showcasing a comedian. Where no, he's taking
Okay,
the opening. Yeah.
he's thinking in his mind like, my dear sweet mother, she might be in an altered state right now, but she can maybe at least hear this moment for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And basically, just that moment of that. Yes, and this moment of like, even if she's hearing anything, he thinks, "Oh my God, she's gonna be proud of her boy."
Yeah, proud of her boy.
And of course, like that's just like kind of like an extra layer you can add to the scene, probably too. Like, oh, maybe she can hear him and hear him like at this high of highs moment in his career. Oh my God, you're on TV. Your son's on TV, or just him in the scene. Like, oh my God, I've hit the comedy jackpot. You made it on the show without even trying, which is unheard of, and it is unheard of for a reason, because he's being picked as like a Jimmy Kimmel opening instead, where it's just like you kind of make fun of clips from the week essentially. And it's just so, I gotta tell you, again, never will you think you're gonna feel sympathy for the Joker, and this is like a moment right here, like, oh God, and just this moment with De Niro here. It's just like I've always, I always wanted to be a comedian. Every time I told someone this, they always laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing at me now, and De Niro, this perfect button here. You can say that again, pal, and just look at this is the low lows right here for him.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it speaks volumes. And now this is the thing we didn't get in the other trailers. Now we have like a revenge motive kind of put into play here, at least like a definitely a big sticking point with him, which I'm sure is going to be a big payoff in the third act. So let's see. This year, we know that. Subway scene. Again, the subway seems to be playing a big part. It's kind of occurring to me right now. The subway seems to be a huge element of what forms the Joker here. Because think about it. Even if it's not the well, that earlier scene we saw was let me go back here for a second. Let's see. Is this a bus or is it a subway?
I'm pretty sure it's a subway.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Think about this, Tiki. It's occurring to me right now. All the big moments that we've seen, these trailers take place on the subway, because you have the scene where he's being beaten down by the
Well, I mean, except for the hospital scene.
Aaron. Yes, that too. But still, we have like that. We have a moment with the kid earlier on in this, and he's being chased by everybody going basically as the Joker. He's escaping by a subway, and the subway seems to be very pivotal in the formation of the Joker. And I would imagine what they're getting at there is like again that you're surrounded by people. So again, it's kind of Joker's influence on people and vice versa. How they're making him like in a very communal setting.
A very public spot.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see. So we have him in the suit here. A little bit of Thomas Wayne action. Of course, here's kind of a. Now the really interesting part of this movie is going to be if the clown movement's in practice before him or after him. I think naturally be after
What
him.
came first, the clown or the Joker?
Yes. Yeah, like this whole we are all clowns. We're all clowns. Movement of
I
it all.
honestly hope it's in place before he becomes the Joker, and he just takes the ideology of this and runs with it.
Entirely possible.
I think that'd be more realistic than just this random failed comedian just randomly getting a following.
Well, we'll see how that one plays out. I'm kind of good with it either way, but we'll see.
Uh-huh.
All right, of course, we have Zazie Beetz here. Of course, Domino from Deadpool 2. And kind of the neighbor that kind of takes a liking to. I love this, by the way. I love seeing him put on the makeup. Little tongue that's just weird.
It really is.
It is, but again, I don't know why. It's like the way he's brushing on looks really good. I don't know why. Not the tongue, but just in general. Whereas here we have the kind of the very Chaplin-esque, just kind of dancing down the stairs, as it were. So this is interesting. It looks like she was in the club the night he was performing, and kind of caught on TV for later here.
Okay.
From the looks of things, he probably invited her, and again, that'll probably make that moment even more crushing. Oh man, if she sees that, she's gonna really, I was there that night. Yes, this is great. The mythology, kind of like here, we're building up the killer clown image.
Okay, Dragon, this brings me to a point I want to address with you.
Go on.
I think that the time period of this movie does make sense for like the vibe they're going for, like the the 1970s with kind of like the Francis Ford Coppola new Hollywood spy thriller aesthetic.
Yeah.
But my problem is I honestly think some of the themes that we've seen, such as, kind of like stranger danger on the bus, and then also, like you mentioned, the bit with De Niro is more kind of like something Jimmy Kimmel would do in the social media age, and then this with the mythology of like the creepy clowns, you know what I mean? This all feels like it would work better in a modern day context. I don't know, I have a lingering feeling about that. What do you think?
Well, of course, some of the best versions of Gotham kind of blend multiple kind of eras together, and usually there's a big 40s, like a 30s or 40s influence, and then you have things like, as you're going to find out with Batman the Animated Series soon, even there's a little bit
So
of
you're
90s.
thinking we're not going to get a concrete year in this movie?
Well, I think if they reveal a year, I'd be surprised if it wasn't the 80s. But even if they landlock themselves in the 80s, they might just be stylistic about it. So it's a question of if they never give a year, it'll just be complete style. Otherwise, it'll be just like we're just going style within the.
Okay,
80s.
if they never give a year, then I'll be completely happy with it. Then
Sure.
I'm just saying. I for some reason I thought I heard that it was a 70s period piece specifically. I didn't hear anything about the 80s. Because the reason I bring up 70s, like I said, is because like the Francis Ford Coppola of it all.
Well, that's the thing. I can forget if they've confirmed like late 70s or just like the early 80s. Because I bring up the 80s because again, it's very year one esque, and that's in the 80s. And I mean, basically a lot of like of course, some of the imagery they're going for here in terms of like bringing up some like there's very Bernie Getz kind of element to this Joker here, very much like on the subway. The guy who kind of took out some guys on the subway, and it was a really big impact, and kind of had a bit of a following vigilantism in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a bit of little shades of that, and again, at points like has like kind of that Scorsese '80s vibe as well. I don't know. So you could be absolutely right, though. It could be. We'll see. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, kind of like the way I have the mythology of Batman, we're kind of doing that a little bit with the Joker here, with kind of we're building the menace and building the legacy here. This is a great shot here. This is the thing. Even if it like even if he inspires the movie, this is such a beautiful moment here. We're just seeing it impact people on a regular basis, and it gives him a legit smile on his face.
Put a smile on your face, Joker.
I dig it. There's now you finally get some of the Chaplin here, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Of course, again, he's kind of reveling.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like I said again. I don't want to be repeating myself, but I just think it's more realistic if he doesn't start the movement, but he kind of like catapults the movement, if you will. I don't know.
It is entirely possible. I could see it going both ways. To be honest, like, again, like it's something. If something's in,
I just don't like I said, I just don't like the idea that he would just rise up out of nothing. You know what I mean? I like the idea that the Joker would kind of like take control of a union and kind of like use it to his advantage.
I mean, the evidence that would support that, Tiki, is that he's putting in that subway scene, there's all the other people are wearing clown masks as well, so it would imply that the clown mask pre-existed him. That's the
Uh-huh.
implication. So we'll see. Again, that's the main evidence that would support your idea, assuming all of that kind of happens in one place, or else he committed a murder with the mask and then he escaped into the subway later on. It's like another example of it. If it's all one scene, then you're right. If it's more than one scene, then it's probably going to go the other way.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Anyway, so again, regardless, he's reveling in just kind of like, oh man, look at this movement that I'm somewhat involved in. So the idea, I think, is that after he kind of commits some grisly acts, and basically, regardless, he's sparking the fire for the movement, if nothing else. And he's kind of reveling in it. And basically, I think he finds like a newfound confidence in everything, which kind of leads him to go, kiss the girl and everything. Here, he's just being a little forward. And we have some. Yeah, I'm sure you want
This
to
is
talk
my
about.
favorite shot in the movie,
Tell the
or
folks
in the
why.
trailer, I should say. It's I'm not. This isn't a direct quote from me. I feel like it's a direct quote from, I want to say, Angry Joe. I've read a lot. Maybe Jeremy Johns. I've seen a lot of videos about this trailer today. So I don't want to be like, claiming these quotes because they're really good quotes, but this is like looking directly into the soul of the Joker.
That's Jeremy Jones.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I quote Jeremy Johns a lot, and I stick to it because I feel like he's on the money right here. I mean, this is just haunting stuff, man.
That it is. That it is.
You know what I like? I kind of dig that I don't even know if this is, go back to that for a second.
I know, I'm getting there. Just give me one.
Okay,
There we go.
Okay. I don't even know if it's intentional, Dragon, but one of the reasons I find it so fascinating is that it kind of evokes the Brandon Lee Crow a little bit.
I kind of see that, yeah, because he doesn't
With
have
the long hair and the white makeup.
Certainly.
Like I said, I have no idea if it's intentional, but just subconsciously, it kind of adds to the creep factor a little bit.
I think what's great about I think what maybe subconsciously really speaks about this image is the fact that again it's like the monstrous transformation of man the clown.
Yes, man.
No, but seriously, it's the idea. Like,
No, I hear you. I hear you.
You have just kind of like again, of course, look how skinny and sickly kind of looks there with kind of how
he's like pulling a full Bale, man. He's going full Bale.
I'm saying again, it looks like kind of like a man transforming into something else, and of course, with the clown head made up, it's just kind of again, it's kind of becoming.
Yeah, it's definitely in the uncanny valley.
Kind of the intersection between the arc of it's the arc
Dragon,
of the movie. Yeah.
Seriously, stare at it. It's seriously one of those things where it gets more creepy the longer you stare at it. It's it's very, very unsettling.
Again, I know it's just again it's kind of like this image does kind of summarize the movie in many respects because again it's like it's a man's becoming into an ideal or a man's becoming.
I have an idea.
Yes. Whereas here it looks like he's. I would imagine this scene he's stealing his own file. Would be my guess. So we can find out what's wrong with him. As pretty much this I imagine is like after that earlier scene with the therapist where she lets him go and he's on his way out and basically steals this from Brian Tyree Henson's character and it's why he's like headbutting into the gate to kind of get some momentum and run with that file out of there. Okay, this scene right here. So.
Oh my God, this is great.
So again, this may be involuntary laughter right now, or again,
yeah.
Bear in mind, presumably he's walked into that chaplain ceremony to meet Thomas Wayne here, and perhaps he's and perhaps he's just kind of like a little cocky over the victory. Maybe it's like legit laughter, or perhaps you want to look at it in many respects. It's like he's taking ownership of his handicap with the laughter, and he's actually laughing because he means it. Who knows? He was just laughing in Thomas Wayne's face right now. Thomas Wayne, of course, proverbially is kind of our bad guy for this movie.
Now, Dragon, I've heard some people say that this is a little out of character for Thomas Wayne. Do you have any take on that?
Well, let me put it this way. Thomas Wayne, especially these days in the Tom King run.
Oh, God.
Of course, you know the Flashpoint Batman, right?
Yes.
The idea that an alternate, for the folks out there, Thomas Wayne, in basically an alternate reality where Bruce Wayne died instead of the Wayne family, he became Batman and basically he was avenging his son. And of course, basically, it was Thomas Wayne's Batman. That's a deep pull from the age-old comics. The Batman costume was inspired by Thomas Wayne wore a bat costume to a party, and that's what inspired the Batman costumes. That's the chronology of Thomas Wayne as Batman. That's where all that comes from. Point being, Some takes on Thomas Wayne. If you watch Pennyworth, at least I'm 4 episodes in on Pennyworth, and Thomas Wayne's very he's a little Howard Stark-esque. He's not much of a fighter. And here I could buy basically seeing as what we've done with like Flashpoint Thomas Wayne. I could see like a Thomas Wayne is a little bit more standoffish. A better example from the comics that might be pulling from is Arkham Asylum, Serious South, and Serious Earth. It's like a really mean spirited Thomas Wayne, like Bruce, you should have been a man. That sort of Thomas Wayne. So I don't. Especially what they're at the very least what they're going for in this movie. If Thomas Wayne as your antagonist is kind of like a corrupt member of office, being the idea here. Like Thomas Wayne's running for mayor of a corrupt Gotham. I could buy he would do this just to punch him. Oh, this is a really great edit here. That's one of the points of this edit. As he punches him and he goes down, we transition to Joker in a car accident.
Crash.
Yeah. Bam!
Crash.
Yep. We have him backstage here. A lot of smoking in this. Vince Gilligan would love this movie. Vince Gilligan loves to bring smoking in when it's appropriate. Oh, now this is okay. I got to talk about this. So we have our GCPD officers here. A lot of speculation that these two guys might be Gordon and Bullock.
Oh no! Oh god!
Now, one of them is a very familiar face, Tiki. One of them you recognize. Well, you will.
Okay. Please tell me.
Right, see this guy right here, the one who's kind of in the crowd there. Well, basically.
Show him one more time.
Right,
he looks familiar. It's not. I know this guess is going to be wrong. It's not Jason Bateman, right?
Okay, let me circle him just to be this guy.
I know.
No, Tiki, he's not Jason Bateman.
I don't know why I'm going to Jason Bateman. Tell me who he is.
It's Dooley from Agent Carter.
Okay, well, it's been a while. All right, please forgive me. All right, Dooley. Okay.
We reference Dooley's boys now and again. I'm saying.
Yeah, we reference the boys, Dragon, not Dooley himself.
Regardless, he's been in Vice. He appears in a couple things. So they got him here too. So see Wickham if I have his name right there. But I love when this guy pops up and he's really good in Agent Carter. Regardless. I love it if he were Jim Gordon personally in this universe, but it might be. Here's the thing that makes me think the other guy's going to be Jim Gordon. The other guy's wearing more of a trench coat and a tie. It looks a little bit more Gordon-esque.
He looks kind of like almost like Pat Hingle, Jim Gordon.
That's the thing, and I can't tell if this guy has a mustache or not. I know the actor ordinarily does not have a mustache. That's the thing. It's really hard to tell. Like does this constitute mustache?
Put a circle on it, Dragon. Put a red circle around it.
Yeah, 44 things you missed.
7 things did you miss?
You know what's crazy? Just to mention that for a second, that's getting all over the place now. Yeah, people are starting to wake up to it now too. Why do we keep doing these? God.
Oh God.
Regardless, honestly, again, given this is like a whole, like we have a Batman who's not a Batman, we have a young Bruce Wayne here. I would Jim Gordon in his younger years did not have a mustache, and I'm just saying, maybe some fodder for Dooley here being Gordon. I don't know. We'll see. Of course, there's the very real possibility they're neither Gordon or Bullock, which again is also fine. Just
I can't believe you actually gave me enough credit to think that I'd recognize Dooley.
Yeah, I did foolish me to give you credit. I know. So this is what I'm talking about. So this scene right here implies that if this is the same scene we've been seeing where he just kind of puts the mask down after a crime, presumably this is him bleeding into a crowd of already pre-existing mask.
Sure.
Really good idea, though. I love that he basically escapes into his legacy or escapes into kind of the sea of anonymity and crime in Gotham. It's a really great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And again, kind of the bigger notion too, just like the way Batman doesn't revel in the legacy that he has in Gotham and how he affects people and how he has built up kind of a name for himself. Joker would. He absolutely would. Good idea. Okay, here we have probably my favorite part in the whole thing here. This is great. This, hey Murray, if you don't, Murray, one small thing. When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
This honestly feels like a Heath Ledger Joker thing in a good way, kind of like the showmanship of Heath Ledger Joker. Like Heath Ledger Joker trying to be civil in the rare times that he does try and be civil.
Yeah, there's so many shades of Dark Knight Returns in this whole in this whole talk show thing.
Oh yeah, of course, I'm
I'm
sure.
so much looking forward to it. The biggest question I have going into this movie is now that, especially after this trailer, now that we know he has a grudge against Murray here, is he going to kill him on live TV? Like in Dark Knight Returns, where he just kills a whole studio. Like, how much will it end with him? Will it get to a whole studio audience? I have no idea. But this bit, it gets me really excited. Also, a little fun fact. So,
Will it
if you
end
notice,
like 13 Reasons Why season 2 and have Thomas Wayne step out like, no, Joker, you're better than this. I've got Gordon coming. He's going to take you away. We got this, bro.
man, that's a
Spoiler alert for
stretch.
13 Reasons Why season 2.
That is a stretch for a pull, my friend.
Well, I'm just saying it's like 13 Reasons Why season 2 is like a big suspenseful build up to a shooting that doesn't happen.
Fair enough. Okay,
Anyways.
regardless, if you look at the image here, if I'm right, the bearded man to the left, that is Mark Maron.
Ah, okay,
You know, the
okay.
podcasting comedian.
Yeah, of course, of
Mark
course.
Maron, from what I understand, he's playing Arthur's agent.
All right, that's a good pool. That's a good pool.
I'm sorry, I just love De Niro here. Just love the way it looks. just this. I love all the backstage touches here, like him with the little things in his little makeup sponge. Well, not a makeup sponge, like kind of a makeup cloth around there. Looks really good. So I love the cockiness and the confidence right here, and he's just so fully formed. And again, especially if he knows what he's about to do, introduce me as Joker. And of course, the bigger thing to take away from this is the fact of you denounced Arthur Fleck. You're going to feel the wrath of the Joker, essentially. All right, so let's see. Then we have a few money shots here. That's the one. That was the look I was talking about right there.
God.
Now, this is really good here. A little bit of the idea here. This confirms to me that he's not just the sign thing is not all that he does. He's hired by a clown agency, so he's been sent to a few places here. And again, he's going to a children's hospital, basically kind of performing the children's wing of the hospital. Basically, going a little Patch Adams on him, right?
I like that. I like that approach that, like, maybe he's a failed stand up who managed to find somewhat stable work in the clowning business, and that would give him, like, kind of like a relatability to clowns and I'm sorry, a relatability to clowns, but also, kind of tie back to the Killing Joke stand-up comedy angle.
And again, what we're kind of putting forward in this movie, again, he does have like a legit kind of connection to children, which we'll see how that goes.
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's see. Of course, this is violence, just kicking the crap out of somebody. It looks like might be going a little bit American Psycho here. We're just kind of kicking a homeless man just because.
Oh God, or maybe a little bit of Tyrell Wellick. Maybe
Quite
he
possible.
paid the homeless man.
Entirely possible. Did he kill that homeless guy? He just beat him up, right?
I think he just beat him up. Yeah,
Because
because he did pay him.
that's the thing. It wouldn't make any sense if you just
Although
paid
it's
him to.
entirely possible that he accidentally beat him up. It's been a while since I've rewatched season 1.
All right. Of course, last season's coming up. We should probably do that.
Yeah.
Here we go. Just De Niro, a little bit of
Next time I
showmanship.
see you, I'm gonna hug you, bro.
Anywho, so here we have some definite Rupert Pumpkin from King of Comedy going on here. Let's see, got some swagger again. Though, also the score has been really great in these trailers, and this is the build up and the scale here of like all the chaos going on here, building up to the big moment at the end here. Him dancing, a real dancey Joker's always nice. There's our namesake, and here we go. And of course, now what we added here so wonderfully is the Sinatra song "Ascend in the Clouds."
It's like it works just stupidly well, Dragon. It's obvious, but it works so well.
Yeah, it fits with the little, the protesting. We are all clowns. It's going to work in clowns a little bit there.
Sure.
And of course, they're pulling. I love the. I don't know if I mentioned. I love the little detail of just to make the effects seamless on the outside camera looking in. We have guys with strings pulling the camera here. The guys with strings pulling the curtain.
Uh-huh.
All right. That'll.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Dragon, best case scenario for me is that Joaquin Phoenix gets a Best Actor nomination out of this. I don't necessarily think this is going to be the greatest movie from a directorial standpoint because I don't have a ton of faith in Todd Phillips. because he, as of now, he's just the Hangover guy in my eyes.
I think you might want to
But
switch the visual.
what? Oh,
Switch to the visual. I'm passing it back to you.
oh, okay. Sorry. But as of now, this does look very promising. And like I say, Dragon Cats is the movie this year that it's not going to disappoint me on any level because I already know it's going to be a train wreck, and I'm just waiting for the train wreck to happen. All right, this is the movie that I'm looking forward to, where it actually has some substantial stakes behind it. I don't think this is going to be a bad movie, but it could be just an all right movie. So, but with the point of Todd Phillips, though, I do think that he has the potential to branch out and to become like the Hangover movies could be his like Amblin and Sugarland Express for Spielberg. You know what I mean? And then this could be his Jaws. It's like we never know. So we'll just have to wait and see on this. I'm cautiously optimistic just because my quote unquote most anticipated of the year has bit me in the butt a few too many times, like Mary Poppins Returns, and I shudder to think Ready Player One. God, I was an idiot for anticipating that so much. But anyways, all right, Dragon. Final thoughts on your end?
Final thoughts. I mean, the only hesitation I have is I feel maybe a little bit too much of the movie's been telegraphed in this trailer, but it's good, so I really can't complain about it. It looks good. I mean, I've heard some trusted critics, some trusted sources of criticism. I think I've been really a little overly harsh and kind of like a little nihilistic looking at this one, looking at seeing it as like, oh, it's not really. Basically, we're going to get our hopes up and it's not going to deliver. I think, come on, man, that's the wrong way to look at it. It's like, don't cast doom. The marketing and the trailer has been looking really impressive. But they think it's just going to be like we rushed out like a Dark Knight.
Dragon, we're all just survivors of Suicide Squad. All right.
There's basically some people have been saying like, oh, it's just gonna be a not. It's like this is the kind of movie you would get after the Dark Knight, like when you're trying to capitalize on the Heath Ledger of it all. Basically, I think there's looking at the fact that he looks, with the long hair and everything, looks kind of Heath Ledger-esque. Hey, come on, man, it's not fair. Again, I think there's something. I don't know. Seems to be something special here. And again, I don't want to speak too much because again, we have been burned with Jared Leto in the past. But you know what? There's something unique about this movie. That's kind of what we've been circling around here with the Todd Phillips of all. It's just a movie that nothing seems to like in premise, like on paper, this seems like it's doomed to fail. But again, so far in just the execution, there's something that won't quit about this movie that just kind of captivates me. And I gotta see it. Of course, I'm in the bag for the Joker and the Batman of it all anyway, so I gotta look into it. But regardless. I'm just again. This is kind of what you want. Again, this is like a movie that's not seemingly not concerned with like we got a build a franchise, and we're so used to that these days. I'm not trying to downplay. I'm not trying to like to be harsh against the franchisees or like the cinematic universes of it all. But I'm saying DC needed something to shake things up, need to be about telling a good story. And so far, it seems to be a good story. And doing that Elseworlds thing, been dying to see him do for so long, and on the big screen. It seems like we're finally there, and assuming it goes well, we'll see what happens. I'm optimistic, and this is still fueling the fire for the optimism and the fact that we're not going to be going crazy with the trailers from this point forward. I think it's a good sign. We'll see what happens. I'm liking this movie a lot. And again, as we hyped up a little bit of Harley Quinn the Joker earlier, if we want Joker, we have like a fully formed Joker and stuff like that, and I'm sure stuff coming in the future, hopefully. But regardless, if this year's kind of the year of the proto Jokers with Gotham and this, and you know what? I think we're in good hands with the proto Joker story. This proto Joker story seems like it's going to be solid. Looking forward to it.
All right, definitely something in 2019 to look forward to. But Dragon, you know what wasn't solid in 2019?
What wasn't solid in 2019?
The month of August. The month of August, Dragon. August 2019 was a slog, and we're going to talk about it on the next Movie Memoirs.
That we are.
Going live this coming Sunday. Time to be determined, probably somewhere around 11 o'clock Eastern. Don't want to make too many promises on that, but yeah. Dragon, how many movies did you see in theaters this month?
Funny you mentioned that. I have not seen anything in the. Wait a minute. No, I haven't seen anything in theaters. No.
Nothing in theaters.
In theaters, no.
For me, all I managed to see in theaters was Scary Stories and Dora the Explorer. And one of them was really good, actually. One of them was just okay. And it's just, I don't know, my enthusiasm for movies, like, maybe it's just because I'm saving for my Disneyland trip. That could very well be a part of it, that I don't want to waste any money that could be going towards that trip on, something like, let's say, Where'd You Go, Bernadette, or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. There's just August has definitely been a slow month, but we'll break it down. And I have been doing some catch up in August, Dragon, for sure. So I have been watching The Boys. I saw Chaplin. I am probably going to watch The King of Comedy before we go on air. So it should be a fun memoirs regardless.
All
All
right.
right, folks. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for more on
Send
the next.
in the clowns.
Proud of my boy. Yes, I'm proud of my boy.